Good morning, children. Welcome to first session of Chapter 1 Number System.
In lower classes, you have studied about different types of numbers. In that, the first one is natural numbers, counting numbers. Natural numbers are usually denoted by n, and the natural numbers are 1, 2, 3, etc. Next is whole numbers. Whole numbers usually denoted by w. Whole numbers include 0 and the natural numbers, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. Next is integers. It is usually denoted by z. Integers include negative numbers, 0 and positive numbers, that is etc. -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, etc.
Rational number. A number of the form P upon Q where P and Q are coprime integers and Q not equal to 0 is called a rational number. For example, 3 minus 7, 0, 2 upon 5, minus 4 upon 3, 0.5, 0.33, etc. are rational numbers. That is, all the whole numbers, all the integers are rational numbers because all the whole numbers can be written in the form P upon Q. For example, 3. 3 is a whole number. You can write 3 as 3 upon 1, 3 upon 2, etc. The same way, 0 is a rational number because 0 can be written as 0 upon 1, 0 upon 6, 0 upon 10. So 0 is a rational number. Two integers are said to be coprime if they have no common factors other than 1. You can make it more clear by the example, that is 2 and 7 are coprime because the factors of 2 are 2 multiplied by 1, that is 2 and 1 are the factors of 2, and 7 it is having only the factor 7 and 1. So the common factor is 1. 2 and 7 are coprime numbers, the same way 5 and 13. And between any two given rational numbers, there lie infinitely many rational numbers. If two numbers are given, for example 3 and 4, you can find infinitely many rational numbers between that two numbers that you have already studied in 8th standard. Moving to exercise 1.1, question number 2. Find 6 rational numbers between 3 and 4. We have already studied in between two rational numbers, you are having infinitely many rational numbers. Now, the number 3 can be written as 3 upon 1. Since you have to find 6 rational numbers, you have to multiply by 3 upon 1 with 1 more than that, that is 6 plus 1, that is 7. So multiply 3 upon 1 with 7 in the numerator and denominator. So you are having 3 multiplied by 7 upon 1 multiplied by 7, that is 21 upon 7. And the same way 4 can be written as 4 upon 1. Since you need 6 rational numbers, you have to multiply the numerator and denominator by 7. Always one more. So you will have 4 multiplied by 7 upon 1 multiplied by 7, that is 28 upon 7. Thus, the 6 rational numbers between 3 and 4 can be taken as 22 upon 7, 23 upon 7, 24 upon 7, 25 upon 7, 26 upon 7, and 27 upon 7. These numbers are lie in between 21 upon 7 and 28 upon 7. You are not supposed to include 21 upon 7 and 28 upon 7 because you have to write the rational numbers between these two numbers. Question number 3. Find 5 rational numbers between 3 upon 5 and 4 upon 5. Here, the rational numbers are given in the form P by Q. Since you have to find 5 rational numbers, you can multiply the numerator and denominator by one more number, that is 5 plus 1, 6, or you take it as multiply by 10. So you are multiplying in the numerator and denominator by 10, you will get 30 upon 50. The same way, 4 upon 5, that is in the form P by Q. So 4 multiply by 10 upon 5 multiply by 10, you are getting 40 upon 50. Now you have to write 5 rational numbers between this 30 upon 50 and 40 upon 50. So you take any 5 rational numbers between 30 upon 50 and 40 upon 50, that is 31 upon 50, 32 upon 50, 33 upon 50, 35 upon 50 and 39 upon 50. That is, if any common factors are having in the numerator and denominator, you cancel it and then write. So you will get 31 upon 50, 16 upon 25, 33 upon 50, 7 upon 10 and 39 upon 50. You can take any 5 numbers between 30 upon 50 and 40 upon 50. Moving to question number 4. State whether the following statements are true or false. Give reason for your answers. In that, question number 1. Every natural number is a whole number. That is true because the collection of whole numbers contain all the natural numbers, because whole numbers start from 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. and natural numbers are starting from 1, 2, 3, etc. Now question number 2, every integer is a whole number. That is false because -4 is an integer, but it is not a whole number because whole numbers include 0 and the natural numbers. Now, question number 3, every rational number is a whole number. That is false. 1 by 2 is a rational number, but 1 by 2 is not a whole number.
Irrational numbers. A number which cannot be expressed in the form P upon Q, where P and Q are coprime integers and Q not equal to 0, is called an irrational number. For example, √2, √5, √7, etc. are irrational numbers. Irrational numbers are generally denoted by capital P. Now you may think that √4, is it rational or irrational? 4 is a perfect square number. That means 4 can be written as 2 square. Square root of 4 means it is 2. 2 is a rational number. Therefore, √4 is a rational number. Now, an important note that we are generally taking the value of pi as 22 upon 7 or 3.14. That is an approximate value for pi. But actually, pi is not equal to 22 upon 7. The decimal form of pi is 3.1415965, etc. That means the decimal expansion is non-terminating, non-repeating. So if the decimal form is non-terminating, non-repeating, it is an irrational number. Therefore, pi is an irrational number. Next is real numbers. The collection of all the rational numbers and irrational numbers form the system of real numbers. It is denoted by R. That means the real number includes all the natural numbers, whole numbers, integers, rational and irrational numbers. It includes decimals also. For example, -4, 0, √5, √36, -12 upon 13, 2 upon 3, 3.6, etc. all are real numbers. Real numbers and their decimal expansions. The decimal expansion of each rational number is either terminating or non-terminating repeating. Conversely, you can say that a number whose decimal expansion is either terminating or non-terminating repeating, it is a rational number. For example, 0.5, that means it is an terminating decimal. You will get the remainder as 0 when you are doing the division. So it is a rational number. Now the number 3.4545 etc. That means it is a non-terminating but repeating decimal. So you can write it as 3.45 because the number 45 are repeating. So the decimal expansion is non-terminating repeating. Therefore, it is a rational number. The decimal expansion of each irrational number is non-terminating, non-recurring. Or conversely, you can say that a number whose decimal expansion is non-terminating, non-recurring is an irrational number. For example, you can write 3.147265 etc. That means it is a non-terminating decimal. The same way, the decimal part is not repeating. Therefore, it is an irrational number.
Moving to exercise 1.3, question number 1. Write the following in decimal form and say what kind of decimal expansion each has. In that, question number 1, 36 upon 100. Here, the denominator 100 is a multiple of 10. When you are doing the division by 100, it is easy to write it in decimal form. Since 100 is having two zeros, the decimal expansion will have two decimal places. So 36 upon 100, you can write it as 0.36. That is, the decimal expansion is terminating. Moving to question number 2, 1 upon 11. Here the denominator is not a multiple of 10. So you have to get the decimal form by doing the long division method. So you have to divide 1 by 11. 11 is the divisor and 1 is the dividend. Since 1 is less than 11, you can write 1 as 1.0000 etc. You can write as many zeros you want. Now, since 1 is less than 11, you have to write 0. Now, take the next digit. Since it is after the decimal, you have to put the decimal point. Now 10 divided by 11, that is not possible. Again one more 0. Now take the number 100. In 100, 11 goes 9 times. So you write 9. 9 11s are 99. 100 minus 99, that is 1. Again bring down one more digit, that is 0. 10 divided by 10 divided by 11, that is not possible. So you have to add one more 0 in the quotient. Bring down the next digit, so it becomes 100. In 100, 11 goes 9 times. So you write 9 in quotient place. 9 11s are 99. Doing the subtraction, you are getting 1. Bring down the next digit, 0. 10 is less than 11, so put a 0 in the quotient place. Bring down one more 0. In 100, 11 goes 9 times. That 9 11s are 99 and you are getting remainder 1. The process is going on. That means the decimal expansion of 1 upon 11 can be written as 0.0909 09, etc. That means you can write it as 0.09 bar. That is 1 upon 11. Its decimal form is 0.0909, etc. If you want, you can write it as 0.09. That is, the decimal expansion is non-terminating, repeating. Question number 2. You know that 1 upon 7 equal to 0.14287. Can you predict what the decimal expansion of 2 upon 7, 3 upon 7, 4 upon 7, 5 upon 7 and 6 upon 7 without actually doing the long division? If so, how? It is given 1 upon 7, its decimal expansion is 0.14287. Now 2 upon 7, its value that you have to find, that is 2 upon 7 can be written as 2 multiplied by 1 by 7. That is 2 multiplied by 0.14287 bar. That is, you have to multiply 0.14287 by 2. When you are multiplying by 2, 2 sevens are 14, balance 1, 10 plus 1, 11, balance 1, 16, 2 eights are 16 plus 1, 17, balance 1, 2 twos are 4 plus 1, 5, 4 twos are 8, 2 ones are 2, 2 0 is 0. That is, you can get it as 0.285714. Same way, 3 upon 7 can be written as 3 multiplied by 1 upon 7. That is, you have to multiply the value of 1 upon 7. That is 0.142857 by 3. So you will get the value of 3 upon 7. 7 threes are 21, balance 2. 5 threes are 15 plus 2, 17, balance 1. 2 threes, 8 threes are 24 plus 1, 25, balance 2. 2 threes are 6 plus 2, 8. 4 threes are 12, balance 1. 3 ones are 3 plus 1, 4. 3 zeros are 0. So you will get the value as 0.428571. Same way you can find 4 upon 7, 5 upon 7 and 6 upon 7. That is 4 upon 7, you can write it as 4 multiplied by 1 upon 7. 5 upon 7 can be written as 5 multiplied by value of 1 upon 7. You will get the answers. Try to do by yourself. Moving to question number 3, express the following in the form P upon Q, where P and Q are integers and Q not equal to 0. In that question number 1, that is 0.6. That is, the decimal expansion is given. You have to write it in the P by Q form. 0.6 means you can write it as 0. Bar means it is repeating, that is 6, 6, etc. Now, first step you have to take, let x equal to the given decimal number, that is 0.666, etc. You number it as 1. Since it has one decimal place and one decimal place is repeating, if one decimal place is repeating, you have to multiply equation 1 on both sides by 10. Suppose two decimal places are repeating, then you have to multiply by 100 both LHS and RHS of the equation 1. Since one decimal place is repeating, you have to multiply equation 1 by 10. So you are getting 10x equal to, if you are multiplying by 10 on the RHS, you will get one decimal place will move. So 6.666, etc. You number the equation as 2. Now subtract equation 1 from equation 2. That is, you are getting it as 10x equal to 6.666, etc. And equation 1 is x equal to 0.666, etc. Now do the subtraction. Here decimal 6 minus 6, 0, 0, 0. 6 minus 0 is 6 equal to 10x minus x, that is 10x minus 1x, that is 9x. So you are getting 9x equal to 6, that is x equal to 6 upon 9. Here common factor is there, 3 is the common factor, that is 2 upon 3. Therefore, that is P by Q form of 0.6 equal to 2 upon 3. Here P equal to 2 and Q equal to 3. Now moving to question number 2, that is 0.4 bar 7. This you can write it as 0.4. 7 is repeating, only 7 is repeating, etc. Now you have to take same as the previous sum, x equal to 0.477, etc. Number it as equation number 1. Since one number is repeating, multiply equation 1 by 10. You are getting 10x equal to 4.777, etc. You number the equation as 2. Now subtract equation 1 from equation 2. That is 10x equal to 4.777, etc. minus x, that is equation 1, 0.477, etc. 7 minus 7, 0, 0. 7 minus 4, 3. 0.4 minus 0, 4 equal to 10x minus x, that is 9x. So you will get 9x equal to 4.3. Now x equal to 4.3 upon 9. Since in P by Q form, P and Q are integers, 4.3 is not an integer. So since it is having one decimal, you have to multiply in the numerator and denominator by 10. So you will get it as 43 upon 90. Therefore, the P by Q form of 0.47 bar equal to 43 upon 90. Since no common factors are there, you have to write as it is. If common factors are there, you write it in the reduced form. Here P equal to 43 and Q equal to 90. Question number 6. Look at the several examples of rational numbers in the form P upon Q, Q not equal to 0, where P and Q are integers with no common factors other than 1 and having terminating decimal expansion. Can you guess the property of Q must satisfy? So you take an example, that is 7 upon 80. It is a rational number and you have to factorize the denominator. So when you are factorizing the denominator, here denominator is 80. 80 can be written as 2 raised to 4 multiplied by 5. Now this 2 raised to 4 and you are having only one 5. So you have to make the denominator as a multiples of 10 you have to multiply both numerator and denominator by 5 raised to 3 because you have to make it as 10 raised to 4. So you are multiplying in the numerator and denominator by 5 raised to 3. So you are getting 7 multiplied by 5 raised to 3 upon 2 raised to 4 multiplied by 5 raised to 4. That is 875 upon 10 raised to 4. Since the power of 10 is 4, the decimal expansion of the given number will have 4 decimal places, that is 0.0875. Same way you take another example, 1 upon 2, that is 1 upon 2. If you want to convert into its decimal form, you have to multiply it by 5 to make it 10 in the denominator. So multiply in the numerator too. So you are getting 5 upon 10. Since 10 is having only one zero, the decimal expansion will have only one decimal place, that is 0.5. That is 1 by 2 equal to 0.5. So this x equal to p upon q be a rational number such that the prime factorization of q is of the form 2 raised to n 5 raised to m, where n and m are non-negative integers. Then x has a decimal expansion which terminates. That means it is a rational number. So make it more clear. For a rational number, the denominator q have to express in the form 2 raised to n 5 raised to m. Then only it will have a terminating decimal. Question number 7. Write 3 numbers whose decimal expansion are non-terminating, non-recurring. You can write any decimal numbers. The first one I have written as 2.567142378 etc. Second number 0.011001100001111 etc. The last one is 3.142736542 etc. That is, you have to write the decimal expansion in such a way that they are not terminating and not repeating in any special pattern. That's all. Question number 8. Find 3 irrational numbers between the rational numbers 5 upon 7 and 9 upon 11. Here 2 rational numbers are given and you have to write 3 irrational numbers between them. And you are knowing the property of irrational numbers, that is the decimal expansion of an irrational number is non-terminating, non-repeating. So first step is you have to find the decimal expansion of 5 upon 7. That is by long division method. You will get 5 upon 7 as 0.714285 bar. Same way 9 upon 11, that is 0.8181 etc. That is 0.81. You have to show the working of long division method. Now you have to write 3 irrational numbers between the rational number. That means you have to write 3 decimal numbers which are lying in between 0.71425 and bar 0.81. That means you can start the decimal starting from 0.72 to 0.80. Please try to write that. That is, I have written 0.724298. You write any digit, but be careful. It will be in between 0.71 and 0.81. You are not supposed to write 0.89. Yeah, 82, because you have to write a number in between 0.81. Second number I have written 0.750075 etc. And third number is 0.802500674 etc. While writing the numbers, be careful. Question number 9. Classify the following numbers as rational or irrational. In that, number 1, root 23. Square root of any prime numbers are irrational numbers. 23 is a prime number. Square root of 23 is an irrational number. Square root of 225. 225 is a perfect square, that is 15 square. So square root of 15 square means it is 15. Therefore, it is a rational number. Next one, 0.3796, a terminating decimal. Therefore, it is a rational number. 7.478478, etc. Here the decimal expansion is non-terminating but repeating decimal. The pattern 478 is repeating. Therefore, it is a rational number. Question number 5, 1.101001000, etc. It is a non-terminating, non-recurring decimal. That means any pattern is repeating. So it is a non-terminating, non-recurring decimal. Therefore, it is an irrational number. Moving to homework. In exercise 1.1 and 1.3, the questions that we have discussed in the class, that you have to write it in your notebook along with do the questions that are given here as homework. Exercise 1.2, that is the construction of irrational numbers, that we will do after completing the rest of the exercise. Thank you.